Today I'll demonstrate how to assemble the popular IKEA EKET cabinet. I'll walk you through the step-by-step assembly process, and I will also show a little trick I use to avoid additional investments. I will share my frustrations when assembling the cabinet, and I'll tell you how I was confused by this guide sheet. We'll start by unboxing, and here's what's included in the standard package. A small box with assembly accessories, the first shelf panel. Shelf panels are the parts with plastic dowels pre-installed on the sides. An assembly manual. It's a good idea to study it carefully before you begin. The first sidewall. Sidewalls are the parts with pre-drilled holes on the sides. A wall attachment drill guide. This is the guide that confused me a lot, but I will explain more about that later. The second shelf panel. The second sidewall. A back panel, and that's everything that comes in the box. To begin with assembly, locate the shelf panel marked with number 1. This piece is critical to start with because it has a slightly deeper groove for the back panel. If you mistakenly begin with another piece, you'll need to disassemble and start over. For an easier process, arrange all the parts so that the shelf panels and sidewalls are facing each other like demonstrated in the manual. Now, connect the first shelf panel to the first sidewall. Insert the plastic dowels of the shelf into the holes on the sidewall. Be sure that the grooves for the back panel are aligned at the same end. After inserting the dowels, push the parts together until the dowels snap securely into place. Actually, my demonstration here is not the best. Instead of using excessive force, you can use your body weight to make the snapping process much easier. Again, ensure the back panel grooves are on the same end. Align the dowels with the holes. Put the assembly on the flat surface and press from the top with your weight until parts snap. The connection may feel tight, that's normal. Apply steady pressure until the pieces are flush at the ends. Now it's time for the back panel. Put the assembly upside down so shelf panel number 1 rests flat on the surface, with the sidewalls vertical. Slide down the back panel into the grooves. Turn the assembly again as demonstrated. This time align the dowels of the shelf on one side without snapping it yet. Align the second side, and now we are ready to push it from the top. This is the part where I found it really tight and I had to apply some brutal force as it didn't want to snap. But don't worry if it's stubborn, just push harder until it snaps and the edges are flush. Now flip the cabinet so the shelf number 1 is on the top. In this position, slide the back panel down. In my case, it fell down to the groove naturally, but if yours sticks, try moving the panel a bit until it finds its correct position. It's time to secure the back panel using the locking dowels. Start by inserting the thicker snap sleeves into the holes at the center of each side. Push until they sit firmly. A helpful trick is to press the plastic sleeve with one finger while supporting the panel from the opposite side with another finger. Finally, install the locking dowels. Push them into place until they fit snugly. With the back panel now secure, it shouldn't move at all. Now, this is the part where I realized this cabinet is not a complete set. After a little research, I discovered that you have two options with this furniture. Place it on the floor, but for that you'll need to buy additional legs separately. Or mount it on the wall, but you'll need to buy a special suspension rail for that, again separately. Somehow I missed this crucial detail, even though IKEA states it clearly on their website. Please, don't repeat my mistake. decide with the configuration you want and get all necessary accessories prior to assembly. What I find strange though is that IKEA includes some accessories that can be used only with the extra components. For example, these plastic brackets for floor placement are included, but the legs are not. Similarly, the drill guide sheet for wall mounting is included, but the suspension rail is not. This raises a question: why IKEA? Including half useful accessories is wasteful. If I choose to mount the cabinet on the wall with the rail, these plastic supports go to trash bin. If I opt for floor placement, this drill guide sheet becomes useless. IKEA, surely you can streamline the process to be more environmentally friendly. I ended up being so confused that I thought these brackets are designed for the wall mount, and this guide sheet was printed with an error, as the marks for drilling didn't align with the holes on the brackets. But after some head scratching, I decided to mount the cabinet to the wall using what was provided. It's not by the book, I know, but this way almost nothing was a waste. And I also saved some money as I didn't have to buy the suspension rail. Now, as this is not the intended way of mounting, please repeat at your own risk. But to be honest, I'm making this video 2 years after installation, and the cabinet was serving me without any issues at all. Just be sure to use the right type of anchors for your wall, and screws with appropriate length. I really hope this guide was helpful. Thanks for watching.